When I was thinking about supervision in implementation, right, we're talking now implementation science. When I was thinking about it, I was thinking, well, what value does it add? What are the pros of having good supervisory structures? And then what are the problems that are often associated with it, or the weaknesses, or the things that would detract value? So one of the things that we talked about, and you can read them up there, but some of the key things are good supervision can strengthen fidelity. On the other side is when supervisors, you don't have supervisors, is that, I don't know about your organizations, but we do a lot of other things. Staff do a lot of other things than just clinical work. They sit on committees, they organize the children's Christmas parties, right? They attend training, they do a bunch of other things that place. They write, I'm sure you write reports, no? Yeah, paperwork, maybe a little bit, right? Do all those other things that aren't necessarily taken into account. So the only person that can mitigate that is a supervisor. They're the only person who can sort of look at the demands of the EIP or EIPs people are involved in, and the other demands of in an organizational context. And if that person is not part of the EIP or present, that can cause a lot of stress for staff and overload. The other thing that becomes problems in organizations is that supervision is often seen as a luxury as opposed to a necessity. We can't do good clinical practice in children's mental health or child development services or parenting or wherever we're working, I would argue, without good supervision. The other problem in implementation is the over-focus on admin, because admin is easy. Did you get your timesheet in? Did you see, did you pick up that case? Did you close that case? Did you get your paperwork in? Those kinds of things, they're easy for us staff about. The harder part is to say, you're doing this particular intervention and CBT, and you're not quite doing enough exposure here or whatever that needs to be corrected. And your peers aren't correcting you because they don't have the power to correct. They have the power to consult and coach and help and support, but they can't correct necessarily. And I guess this is the essence of my thing, and it's this issue of power and authority. Lots of times we're so afraid to talk about it, but we need it. To implement across all the implementation phases, and in particular sustainability, I would argue you at times need the appropriate use of power and authority, and that can only be exercised by a supervisor in an organization.